Well, now I will talk on how altruism is serving in the family models, and then um, basically uh, how selfishness might enter to the family models and how much which way they change the family models. In neoclassical economics, and to be fair, I mean neoclassical economics as it is has developed in the 19th century and maybe all the way to the 1990s. I mean, maybe 1980s and 70s might be starting point when women start to work and basically start to bring income to the household. Before that, even though legally women had rights, still financially, man was head of the household and had, with the money it brought, it had power to make decisions, of course. Um, and the uh, models of families usually take families as households, and households are taken as entities that make decisions as a single entity. Any discussion, any let's say bargaining process or compromise within the household is not considered as the as important aspect of the economics. Actually, the we just consider or we just assume as if the family has made the decision already and has its own preferences, its own choices. Um, well, when family is looked upon by some side studies in neoclassical economics, and Becker is an important name there. We will see him more in coming chapters. Um, it is usually the father figure in the family is taken as the figure that is that has some degree of altruism. Basically, he cares the all needs of all members of the household. He cares for the utility of everyone in the household, and as a result, even though he has this ultimate financial power, um, this ultimate financial power doesn't prevent him to make decisions that will benefit all family members. So, in a way, altruism justifies this decision-making power of a single member in the household. Uh, what will happen when we are getting selfishness into the household? Well, when we get selfishness into the household, basically, now both man and woman might will need to care for their own needs, maybe to some extent, basically. Uh, as a result, well, man is bringing income to the household, but woman is also doing some household work and produce some products inside of the household. So each have some, each is one of them is producing something, and then they share what they produce. In case of man, we might say the money and how to use the money. In case of woman, what should be done inside of the household as household work, and how should it be distributed also. Now, what will happen if both man and woman are selfish, basically? In that case, they will, well, simply, uh, well, act for their own interests, and what they do will be, they will basically bargain to get, basically, most out of them, the household production, and as much as possible also and also distribute the work done with according to his or her favor. Well, how children fit to the question to the picture is also might be a question. Sometimes children might be viewed as the long-term investments, or in some cases something that the family is enjoying, because I mean they might like having children around and playing, basically. Um, but and whether the children might also have some bargaining power or what they contribute to the family might be a question. But at least between man and woman, bargaining models might be the models that work if when we remove this we remove altruism and put selfishness into the model. Well, if bargaining model is in place, now of course when the woman gets more opportunities to work outside, even if they don't work, if they are able to work outside of the family, if they are able to earn income, that will increase their bargaining power, and as a result, they will get more from the bargaining process. And note that bargaining process is, in some cases, the mere distribution of the output inside of the household, but in some cases also it is the decision-making power. For example, where to go for the family vacation, and or whether to buy TV or whether to buy microwave oven. I mean, this is also part of the bargaining process. So, in other words, basically, when we don't restrict behavior of man or woman or any agent in models we have in social sciences and economics in particular, we are able to get a fuller picture which might explain certain things which are not explainable when we have models with pure selfishness and pure altruism. So having more flexible models that have that include different motives might help the models to become more accurate and increase their explanatory power also. So these are again some examples on how more flexible models might be more useful in the economics by England. In addition to the more flexible methods might be more useful, stated by Starr. So this is the end of this lecture. Well, this week's discussion will be on the women in economics. There are the videos contain some and the sources contain some examples of the women in the economics and how their perspective has changed also economics. But it also discusses basically has a more overall look basically on it has some particular examples of women, but it also looks to the overall data and overall information on the percentage of women in the economics and why percentage of women in economics is not that high. And the discussion is basically on both the number of women, why they are not that high, especially in academia, to what extent this is changing, and to what extent we can say this trend might end up in a desirable result, and what is its basic outcome, and what is a desirable result? We might also ask that, and what is the outcome? Do you think both lack of women and increase in women in recent years is affecting the economics as a science? So those are the questions. You'll see more detailed explanation in the discussion. So this is the end of this week's the video lecture of this topic. See you in the next video lecture, and as always, I hope all of you will stay healthy.